Good morning, everybody. It's Yankee Wally here. I know, I've been away a few days. I got a couple of problems, actually. I'm trying to think of a way to tell you without getting too involved in it. But right now, I've got a couple of problems with my home. But the laptop arrived. Yes, it did, and I've forgotten how to use a laptop. I hate to say that because it makes me sound like I'm a bit thick. And I'm not thick, but if I haven't used something regularly and I go away from it, I kind of have to get back into the swing of it. I will get back into the swing of it. I have had a laptop before and I know how to use them. But what's confused me is it just an empty laptop? There's no YouTube on it. There's no Google on it. So I don't know how to download the apps to install the YouTube and Google and all that. And without Google, I can't get anywhere. And then, of course, my doorbell knocked and it was this situation with my flat. So I've got to get everything sorted out before I can even attempt the laptop. My mind's all over the place at the moment. Do you ever have days like that? Crikey. When I just, I can't think straight. Even though I'm not doing anything, my mind has gone a bit frazzled of late. Anyway, good news. The trial is starting tomorrow for Grandma Gotti. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? Grandma Gotti. That's Donna Adelson. She was there today while they were selecting the jury. And it was an 8-hour day where they both lawyers for each side were questioning the jury on general things like their integrity and what they thought of this and thought of that. It was quite good. And Donna there, she looked terrified. In fact, the guy whose channel I was watching, his name's Carl Steinbeck. He's good for this trial anyway. He said she looks nervous and guilty, and she did. She really did. And then one of the commenters said, why didn't she just plead guilty and get it over with? They've made her look like a grandma, as you can see. I mean, when she was first spotted by the police at the airport on her way to Vietnam, and when her husband said, don't put cuffs on her, she's not going anywhere. Like, she had a ticket, one-way ticket to Vietnam in her hand. No, right. But this is going to be a very complicated trial because those of you that know about it will understand what I'm saying. But this is it's been 11 years since Dan Markel was shot in his own driveway by a hitman. And it turned out that it was a hitman that came from his ex-wife, Wendy, with an I, Wendi. Very important that, isn't it? Wendy. So anyway, Charlie Adelson, her brother, was guilty of hiring the hitman, and his receptionist at his dad's dentist practice, he was, let's say, knocking her off. It wasn't dating or anything. But her ex-husband was the hitman and his mate, both Mexican mafia, and they did the hit job. So it all got traced back. The one person that's still out free, though, is Wendi Adelson, and her father, Harvey Adelson. He's free too. Charlie's got a life without parole. Donna's up before the judge tomorrow, and he's a great judge too. I can't think of his name now. It's going to be a wicked trial, and I know I'm going to be very heavily invested in it. And I'm waiting. I've been waiting for a trial. I watched Kronenberg. That's the name of a beer over here. Koberger, and that was okay, but it didn't have much information. The woman that killed her husband and put him on a burn pile. Do you remember her? Oh, gosh, what was her name? She looked like she had something wrong with her top lip. Oh, I forgot her name now. Oh, I know. No, I don't. Anyway, that's tomorrow, so I'm glad. Now, do you know... Now, this is Bridget Macron. Now, I'm 69, coming up 7... Well, no, I'm not coming up, but it's got ages to go yet. But she's 73. And I'm looking at her face with that crease under her nose, and that crease is a sign of surgery when you have the philtrum shortened. You know the distance between the tip of your nose and the top of your top lip, the edge. They shorten that to make your lip go up and to make you look more like Bridget Bardot's. You know, that's the idea of it. But it's and that's the scar, that's the crease that it leaves. But she does look more, look at that one. She does look more than 73. I think she does anyway. And she always wears wigs. So anyway, Macron is suing her now. Candace Owens. He's saying that he didn't want to, but he's got to because he's got to protect his wife at all costs. I'm absolutely fascinated with this because if he was so sure that his wife is a woman, which obviously he's got to know, all he has to do is produce a picture, a bit of DNA, a birth certificate, a couple of pictures from when she was younger. There's all sorts of things that are just not available. There's nowhere on the web. The web's been scrubbed. And all he has to do is give proof. I mean, if somebody said to you, I think you're a man and you're a woman, and you'd laugh, wouldn't you? You would laugh. You would only get serious if you actually had been a man. I think it would be a sensitive area for you then. And the way they are behaving, it's almost like as if it is true. Because first off, they should laugh. And then if somebody said, well, prove it then. Can I have some DNA? Well, yeah, if it's only to test for that. I don't want you putting me up against, on the crime database. But yeah, I'd give my DNA. I'd give my birth certificate. I'd give all the pictures I've got. I've got loads of when I was a teenager. And we all have, haven't we? My mother had a load of pictures, albums and albums in the back of her car, and her car got stolen. So we lost a lot of pictures around the 1980s time, which is a shame, but I've still got quite a few. I mean, let's be honest, you've all got one or two photos that you can produce of you 30, 40 years ago, haven't you? I have, and even though my mum's car got nicked, I still can get some pictures. And your friends have got pictures, and your old friends and school photos. There's nothing of Brigitte at all. And I think that the person who she is trying to be, which was her brother, her younger brother, I think he was 73, or he is 73. I think this woman here was born in about 10 years older, if I remember rightly. Anyway, we'll soon find out. We will soon find out. So anyway, where am I now? There's a timeline there. It's not a very good. I clipped it off the television. And this is... There we are, that's the one. February the 11th, in Amiens, somebody called Jean-Michel Trogneau was born. That's the one. 1945, right? So if you think 1945, I was born in 56. So Jean-Michel Trogneau would be 80. Have a look at that. Does that look more like an 80-year-old person or a 73-year-old person? See, that's the question. And I've, without, oh, I'm sorry about that in committing incest. I'm not quite sure. That was a news reporter talking and the closed captions came up. I don't know quite what was meant to be said. That is an 80-year-old person that's had quite a bit of plastic surgery. I'm convinced. And it says here, look, she's only 72. No, she isn't 72. She looks more like 80, doesn't she? You can see on that picture there. I'm not knocking her for being 80. She looks good for 80. Marvellous for 80. But she can't get away with being 72. Not in my eyes, anyway. So this, and that was supposed to be her older brother. The real Brigitte Trogneau was born in 1953. Don't know where she is. I can't remember now. They've built a storyline to fit in around their lies. So, it must be very hard, when you're living a lie like that. And I don't know if I would even bother to expose somebody, but what I do find alarming is that Emmanuel Macron was only 14 when their relationship began. That is a real no for me. Hard no. It's wrong. And they took him out of the school, but Brigitte, or should I say Jean-Michel, was determined to continue the relationship. I'm sorry about it. I think the thing is, I don't really care, okay? I'll be honest, I don't really care. But what I do care about is when you're in a position of authority, when you're a public figure, when you're taking money out of the British taxpayers' donations to France and things like that, you have got a right to have the person that's your figurehead to be above suspicion, beyond doubt. They must have a squeaky clean life. And that's why you'll never see me as a president or a prime minister. It wouldn't be possible. My past is too shady. People would pull me apart, and I wouldn't like that, because I'm okay with not being in anybody's focus, line of vision. I don't want to be. I'm quite happy the way I am. But for this Brigitte Macron, she has pushed herself to be the President of France, First Lady, or whatever they call them, and she's put herself in the public domain quite willingly, and she seems to enjoy it as well. Well, if she's living a lie, people need to know. Absolutely. If I thought that somebody in the royal family had a sex change and lied to us about it, or if I found that somebody in the royal family had used a surrogate and totally lied to us about it, wow, I don't shut up, because it's not fair, because I'm pretty sure that those Sussexes over there in Montecito are still getting some money from the public purse. I know they are. There's we only get told a certain amount. We get told a lot more than we ever used to. There was times, before the internet, we weren't told anything, and we never could find out anything. So I do welcome the internet, but in other ways, I'm kind of getting a bit frightened of it. It's a silly thing to say, isn't it? There we are. Then you can have a look at that. You can pause it, and you can have a look at that's the timeline as per Candice. Well, as per the truth, let's put it that way. And there's the one. Now, when he was, that boy there on the left, when he was 8, Brigitte was born, so they're saying. But I'm saying that's him. And there's a dimple there on the left, and I managed to find the dimple that I was arguing with the last time. There is definitely a dimple. All sorts of things. Yeah. Anyway, we'll soon see, because the court case is going to come. He's suing her in Delaware. And one thing that I can't believe, I don't know why he's done it. This case of bluffing. I think that he's bluffing and hoping that Candice will maybe run out of money, or won't be able to afford it, because court cases amongst the very rich, it costs millions. And Candice has got 4 children, and okay, she must be well off and stuff, but maybe they're hoping to bluff and call her bluff, and she'll have to duck out of it. I don't know. But she's not. She's doubling down. I've got a playlist on my channel if you want to see it. It's on my channel, and you can go on Candice's channel, Candice Owens, and find it all on there. You don't really need me. I don't think you do anyway. You can find it on Candice Owens' channel. Right, where am I now? Right. There's the 4 things that I think, well, not all of them, I think top left and bottom right are okay. But top right and bottom left, niqab and burqa, ban them. They've got to be banned. Shadow and hijab, I suppose that's okay. That's the difference anyway. Where are we now? There's Donna Adelson. That's the amended witness list. I'm just getting ready for this. There's the rest of it. What else do I need to show you? Oh, this is a bit of a craze. I know you're in America. I'm not sure about Australia and the other countries, but in America, they got your flags up everywhere. It's lovely to see. But the police are telling people to take them down off public places, and they can put them up in their own garden, though. Now, underneath, that's the St. George flag. That's England's flag. And the top one is what they call the Union Jack. Operation Raising the Flag. The Welsh flag is in a class of its own. It's because if you look at the Union Jack, you'll see that it's an amalgamation of the Scottish flag, which is a white cross on a blue background, the St. George, which is a red cross on a white background, and then if you put them together, you sort of get the Union Jack, a part of it anyway. But with the Welsh flag, it's a bloody big dragon. So it's, oh, here we are. For those of you that don't know the Dan Markel case, this is the story, how it went. I'm just going to show you that because you can pause it then. There's Grandma Gotti there on the right. There's her husband on the left. In the middle is Dan Markel, the victim. Wendy Adelson, top left. Oh, top right, Charlie Adelson, her brother. And the bottom three are Charlie Adelson's ex-woman, Catherine McBanniger, her ex-husband on the right, and Louis Tato Riviera, friend. That's who they all are. Whew. And the bottom three, I beg your pardon. Catherine McBanniger is in for life without parole. Bottom right is life without parole. Bottom left is 20 years. There's an explanation for that. He did a plea agreement. His name's Tato. Charlie Adelson, top right, Wendy's brother, he got life without parole. Wendy and Harvey are still loose. Wendy is the catalyst. If Wendy didn't exist, this wouldn't have happened, though she is in many ways part of it. Grandma Gotti is up before the judge tomorrow. She looks petrified. I'm sorry for laughing, but she bloody deserves it. Anyway, last night I was about to do a video, and I, hold on a sec, I gotta blow my bloody nose. Oh, sorry about that. Was it? Yeah. And so I was about to do a video last night. I was in the right frame of mind. Everything was cool. I've got this problem hanging over me, but I'll get to grips with that. And then I came across this YouTube channel, and this was the actual video that I got caught out, and I started watching it, and all of a sudden it was like the most enormous penny dropped. It was like, boom. And I started listening to more and more and more. In fact, I listened to it about 3 times. And there was one particular part in it that it just made me burst into tears. I just couldn't help it. I just thought, my God. Whew. And what I started doing then was actually screenshooting it. It's a piece about projecting your shadow, your dark side, and it's something I find it very difficult to explain this in order to make it easy for me to explain and you to understand. But it's Carl Jung. He's a philosopher from I think he was around the turn of the 19th century, 20th century, and he's talking about how you can see people and that you can suddenly see that they are, well, there were 2 people that it struck me as the 2 people that this applied to in my life. And one was, the other one was Meghan Markle. And I started to think, this isn't just narcissism or narcissism, this isn't just narcissism. It's actually, one thing that struck me was that in this person or these people, when they go about and they start telling these lies with such conviction, the part that intrigued me was that they actually believe it themselves, and they actually don't. And there was so much more. So I started screenshooting it. I started going through it, and then it got too much. There was too many pages for me to do it, but I strongly recommend it. It's the most dangerous Carl Jung psychology sign. Stay alert. And I thought, what would have happened if Harry, or maybe Harry's not bright enough to even, don't get me wrong, I don't understand all of it, but I understood enough of it to know that narcissism is just the top of the iceberg. There's so much more underneath. And this, when I read it, and when I listened to it, it explained to me why Meghan keeps coming back for more, or coming back and back and back. And because there comes a point where anybody with a bit of brain would think, I'm just beating my head against a brick wall. Nobody's ever going to understand me. Even if she thinks she's right, there's a time when you've got to say, I'm too good for them, or whatever she says to herself to make herself feel good. You've got to give up, haven't you? Or look inside yourself and see what's wrong. But apparently, these dangerous people, of which Meghan Markle is one, I'm convinced, I'd be so grateful if you'd, I think it's only about half an hour. Let me just quickly check. I think it was about half an hour. And I started to really understand, and then I go into like a trance of being in a intelligent understanding mode. But I can't explain that to you either. Sometimes when I'm listening to something that's a bit complicated, I actually go into like a little trance, and I understand it, but then I'm no good at explaining it, especially if somebody doesn't understand it themselves, So if you're interested, take a little look at it, and then maybe you could offer me some ideas as to whether that's right or not, and whether Meghan has got a deeper rooted problem than what we see. I must look at this again, listen to it again, and make it clearer for you. I'm not making it very clear, am I? But anyway, we've had a hot couple of days. Trippy's good. He's as good as gold. He's got a new little game now. He likes to come flying in through the patio door, jumping up. I think he thinks there's a mouse in here. I think he's right, because I saw it. I've seen it once anyway. And I did see a rat the other night as well. But I'm not going to complain, because there is a light at the end of the tunnel. This is something that I've got to talk about. I've got to come to terms with. So what I do now is when I stand up to go anywhere, I got to stamp my feet, because I know that little critters like that, they pick up on ground noises, trembles. If there was an earthquake, they'd be the first to know. So I just stamp my feet, because I don't want to see the rat, and I'm sure he don't want to see me. I only saw him once. He hasn't got a regular walkway through here. The little mouse, I've seen him, I think, twice now. But it's not a biggie. It's not a biggie. I'm not going to buy any rat traps or mouse traps, because I just can't be cruel. I can't. No, I can't. There was something else I was going to tell you then. Oh, this is from the, listen to this. Do you remember when they all laughed? God love him. She got a shiver, she did then. Oh, Prince Philip. That's it. That was all their faces on Meghan's and Harry's wedding day. Isn't that surprising? Don't you think? Right, let me show you. I've got to show you my Instagram page, because there's something. I had a... Here is my Instagram page. Here's my... No, hang on. No, wrong one. Here, home. So you're calling me the N-word because you're... Oh, there's another lie, look. She's saying that she got the Kennedy Award. This time, won the Ripple of Hope Award. Yeah, more lies, more lies. Wait there a second. Let me find my... wait there now. I want to... How do I get to my page? Home. Yeah, Prince Harry sent a tribute to the VJ Day commemorations in London. He wasn't invited, but he sent a letter, and a lot of people were insulted by it. Look at that. Oh, God, that's funny. You know, Catherine, I should say, plays the piano at the Christmas concert. That's Meghan doing the concert with her 2 children playing the piano. She tries all the time to compete with Catherine, and it doesn't work, does it? Wait, here I am. Here I am. Right, watch this now. Some of these things this is when they came out of St. Paul's Cathedral. I just want you to listen. See the microphone and just by her left breast? Can you see it? Look. See it there? You see that? Now, that's why she doesn't want to come back. Between that and the tomatoes, because she was most insulted, and so with the Sussex squad. See, it was me that talked about the tomatoes first, because I didn't think it would cause offence. It was the mildest. I mean, if I said throw pineapples, that'd be a bit different, wouldn't it? But no, squash tomatoes, old tomatoes, is a well-known English form of dislike. You know, you throw rotten tomatoes. And the Sussex squad tried to get me banned, and you know what they're like. They're dramatic. They're just dramatic. And it frightened her, I think. Mind, I wouldn't want to have rotten tomatoes thrown at me if I was out and about, especially in a white suit. But anyway, that's that. Let me show you this one now. Have you ever seen this one? When Meghan asked for the job. Watch this now. He's asking for a job for Meghan. She's right there next to him, talking to Beyonce, and she's actually... You can hear him saying it if you listen, but I'm talking over it. I'm sorry. But yeah. Anyway, he's asking for a job for Meghan.
I'm sure you saw it and spotted it. That
I just want to show you something else now.
Y'all know why I'm here? Y'all know my name? I'm staying in your house. Grandma, you remember me? It's your dark-skinned great-grandson. I'm on the throne. Hey, Auntie. Y'all know why I'm here?
I shouldn't laugh, should I? But, well, nobody really knew what colour Archie was going to turn out. And you never know how people change when they grow up, do you? I mean, I think that if he turned up in London looking like that, I think he'd shock a lot of people. I would hope that if he did look like that, he'd at least shave his hair off a bit. I'm not being a racist, am I? Didn't mean to anyway. And there's the one where they came out with the baby. That's how much he saw of his face.
how you doing?
How you doing? I don't know who did that voice, but it is funny. This was that was an anti-mosquito song that they sang, and Megan couldn't stop laughing.
We all know, darkness cannot drive up.
I don't know what the impact.
There's quite a lot of things. It's on my Instagram page. I was looking through it the other day and I was thinking, oh, that was years ago I did that, but they're still relevant now. I got some cartoons about me. That was the Royal Grift did those. My post has been found on the public domain with just my own Look at my tomatoes, which are probably not true. I think I've got to face facts. I think that there is a report on me in the Fixated Persons Bureau. I think there is one. And I think that report has been done by either Prince Harry, Scooby, or Boozy. He hasn't got anybody after him. Am I there with a bag for life? Because, you know, you can use those again and get plastic, obviously. Ready to throw tomatoes. You know, if he's going to think put it this way, if I'm the best one they got, then they are really, really short of people. They must be pretty desperate. Here comes Prince Harry. The Royal Grift did 3 cartoons, all relevant to what was going on at the time, you know, the Tomato Gate and all that.
That's her white.
And it was just really funny to see it. I loved it. Right, okay, I think that's enough for now, isn't it? I'm going on about nothing really, just to ramble on. This is stupid. Look how Harry behaves. Watch his...
The flies are friendly in Dubbo too.
Oh, you're so funny, Harry. Oh, my God, he makes me mad. Sick, I should say. Anyway, that's it for now. Yeah, I got a bit of a problem with my home. I got a bit of a problem. Nothing wrong with anything, and I got to learn how to use the laptop. Those are my 2 problems at the moment. Doesn't take much to set me back, does it? But I'll get through it. Don't worry. I'll sort it all out. I've got a meeting with the housing people. They wanted to see me tomorrow, Friday, and I said, you can't come in my house. And they said, no, we'll meet you over the community hall. We got a hall here. And I said, okay, Friday, tomorrow. And then I said, oh, I think they have a coffee morning on a Friday. I thought, thank God, I don't want to go over. Like, I was only talking to them like yesterday and today. So anyway, eventually I got it put back to a week tomorrow. Well, a week today. And that'll be all sorted out then. It's going to be good. It'll be for the best. Everything will be for the best. It's just that I'm in my little bubble here, and I like it. Well, I don't know if I like it or I don't, but it's what I'm used to now, and it's peaceful, and I'm in control of what happens in my day. I'm not going to ever have anybody scare me or bankrupt me or do anything bad to me. Like, you know, I feel safe here, but they are pushing me to do something a bit more out of my comfort zone, but I know it's for the best. So anyway, I'll tell you all about it as I kind of get a bit stronger in talking about it, if you know what I mean. I'm so sorry. Anyway, I'll see you hopefully tomorrow, and thank you very much for listening. I'm really glad of your company. Cheerio!